The Premier League title race all comes down to this, in my opinion. Tottenham versus Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've just seen Aston Villa pull back a draw, which changes things a little bit. We're going to be speaking on the game, speaking on the title race. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Big up to everyone who's been showing some support. We're 205 subscribers from 6K, which is absolutely insane because we only launched this channel back in March. So to have 6,000 of you on this journey with me is absolutely unreal. So like the video, subscribe to the channel. Now, the Premier League table as it stands has Villa in 4th on 68 points, and it has Tottenham in 5th on 63 points. So Villa scraping back a draw from being 3-1 down in a game against Liverpool changes things a little bit, because now Crystal Palace would have to beat Villa on the last game of the season, because I don't think Tottenham are going to make up the 8-goal difference against Manchester City and Sheffield United. And Tottenham now have an opportunity. If we beat Manchester City, it goes down to the very, very last game of the season, where, of course, Aston Villa have a tough game away to Crystal Palace. So this changes the complexity of this game completely. A lot of Spurs fans coming out saying that, you know, I want to throw this game, Henry. I don't want Arsenal winning the league. Look, I taking my Spurs hat off, taking my rivalry hat off, talking about Arsenal. I don't really care where Arsenal are in the league to a degree. Of course, they're my rivals, but for me, if we can get Champions League football in our first year under Ange Postecoglou, when you look at where Liverpool finished, they finished 8th in Klopp's first year. Arteta finished 8th in his first year. And Pochettino in his first year at Chelsea could be finishing 8th as well. I don't think Champions League is a bad year at all. I think it's a very, very good year. And the fact that Villa have dropped points against Liverpool, to be honest, they should have lost the game, which would have put Aston Villa on 67 points, which means if Tottenham would have won tomorrow, the gap would be 2 points going into the final game of the season. Now, in terms of Manchester City, they are in absolutely devastating form. I'd be lying if I was saying they wasn't. 4 goals against Fulham, 5 goals against Wolves, 4 goals against Brighton, 5 goals against Luton, 4 goals against Palace, 4 goals against Villa. They are in absolutely ridiculous form right now. The last game they lost, funny enough, was against Aston Villa, a team we were just speaking about, and that was in December in the Premier League. They are on an unbelievable run of games. Devastating form. Everyone in that Manchester City side is contributing, and they are firing on all cylinders. For Tottenham, it's about now getting in that Champions League place. We have to beat Manchester City. It's as simple as that. Man City, of course, haven't scored a goal in our stadium in the Premier League. They did beat us in the FA Cup 1-0, which, to be honest, I don't think we were good at all. I thought it was probably our worst performance collectively of the season. We had 1 shot. I don't think we had any shots on target. Now, in terms of the way this game has been played in recent times, and a lot of Arsenal fans think this potentially could happen, is when we've beat, Man City under the likes of Nuno and Poch and Jose and Conte, it's been with a very pragmatic approach, very defensive, counter-attacking style. Because let's be honest, if you go pound for pound with Manchester City, you've got to beat an elite side to win. Now, I know Arsenal beat Man City earlier this season, but their approach changes. You saw the way Arsenal played at the Etihad as well. Very, very solid defensive display from Gabriel and Saliba, but you don't go pound for pound against this Man City side. They've got too many weapons in their arsenal. They've got too many dangerous players that can hurt you. The likes of Foden, Alvarez, Haaland, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. Their players are just simply a joke. Jeremy Doku, they got firepower all over the pitch. If Tottenham want to come out of this game with the 3 points, for me, we have to kind of change the way that we've played in recent times. If Ange Postecoglou approaches this game with the high line, for me, it's madness, because We've been opened up recently by Liverpool. They scored 4 goals against us. Arsenal didn't have to really flex a muscle to score 3. Chelsea just had 2 really good set pieces. And we know how strong Manchester City are from set pieces. We have to change our approach, potentially drop that defensive line by 5 to 10 yards. Of course, we've got a few injuries. There's going to be no Richarlison in this game. You're probably going to see Emerson Royale or Skip at left back. And when you look at the form we're in, we've only won one of our last 5 Premier League games. And that game we struggled to win. That was against Burnley. You know, we've won 1 game since the 7th of April. And we're now, tomorrow going to be the 15th or 14th of May. Since then, we've drawn to a poor West Ham side. We're beaten Nottingham Forest. We got spanked by Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool. And we bounced back to a degree by beating Burnley. But the big worry I have from us is our forwards aren't contributing in terms of output to a massive degree. Even the goals against Burnley were scored by Pedro Porro and Mickey van der Ven. The goals, against Liverpool, we started to play, but by then they were already 4-0 up. Against Arsenal, we scored from another defender and a penalty. Against Chelsea, we were absolutely toothless. If we want to win this game, we have to be at our very, very, very best. And this is the title decider for me. If Manchester City win tonight, Manchester City win against us, then for me, that could be the Premier League title race done. If we somehow get a draw or beat Manchester City, it opens up the door for that lot down the road. Arsenal, who, as it stands, are on 86 points. Man City are on 85. If it was to go to a draw tomorrow, Man City would be second because Arsenal have the better goal difference. They've got 61 goal difference. City have only got 58. In terms of personnel for this game, I would like to see some changes, in the Burnley game that we played against on Saturday. Of course, Ollie Skip come in because Emerson Royale was very, very poor in the Liverpool game. 2 goals were his fault. Very bad marking on Mohamed Salah. I would like to see the likes of Mickey van der Ven potentially go at left back, because if I look at the likes of, the Fodens, the Bernardo Silvas, the Alvarezes and the Haalands running up against Ollie Skip or, Emerson Royale in that left back position, it leaves us extremely exploited. For me, it's all about now. It's all about getting the result. Put Van der Ven at left back, bring in Dragusin and have Dragusin and Romero as the defenders. In terms of the midfield, I'm not too sure which pairing he's going to go. We've heard today that Bissouma's out, so you probably will see. If we're going to play the pragmatic approach, I would play Bentancur and Højbjerg. I think they're the better defensive-minded players. And then when the energy levels start to run low, because you are going to be chasing the ball a lot, you bring on the likes of Sarr. Big game for James Maddison. Of course, he got the assist for the winner against Burnley. And the front three is going to be very, very important this game, because we're going to miss Richarlison's aggression. We're going to miss his aerial ability. The front three will probably be something like Brennan Johnson, Son, and Dejan Kulusevski. Of course, Timo Werner is out for the remainder of the season, the last 2 games. Of course, same as Richarlison, Bissouma, Udogie. We have got a few injuries. Could we potentially see a Giovanni Lo Celso come in? Maddison hasn't been the best since last year. I think he's got 2 goals since October. We've got to step up now. We've got to win. Villa have opened up the door for us. We have to win. Can we upset? I mean, this is David versus Goliath at the moment in terms of the difference in the squad depths, qualities, abilities. Just overall players they've got available is far superior to us. But as we've seen this season, Manchester City have lost 3 games, which was against the likes of Arsenal, Aston Villa, and, of course, Wolves. And every single one of those games that they lost, they played against a pragmatic style. They played against a shrewd defense. They played up against a team that were prepared to sit up and counter. If Ange Postecoglou goes into this game with the Ange ball approach, then I worry that we could get swept aside. For me, this game is all about going. It's our last home game of the season. Fight, show a bit of passion, show a bit of desire. try and get the 3 points. You know, I see today that our players are, in training, playing around with the kites. We saw the likes of, we saw the likes of Fulham do that, and then they got an absolute battering by the likes of Manchester City. I look at this game and think, now that Villa have kind of dropped points, that that means that we've got to go and win against Sheffield United. If we can't beat a Sheffield United side that have conceded 101 Premier League goals, then genuinely we don't deserve to be in the Champions League. The Sheffield United side that have won 3 games out of a possible 37, scored 35, conceded 101, and have got minus 66 goal difference. If we can't go out and beat that Sheffield United side, then we truly don't deserve to be in the Champions League, in my opinion. It's a massive, massive game. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. And look, it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. Tottenham versus Manchester City. Make sure you're there for it. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.